everybody. I was really glad to hear today that I get to speak after 420, meaning that all of you will be a little bit more receptive and patient with my nervousness. So, obviously that's true, and I'm golden. As Steve said, I began 10 years ago. This is the 10-year anniversary of my trial. It was really, really nerve-wracking. I had to await trial for 11 months. Awaiting trial for 11 months is a really scary thing to do. I had depression, I had anxiety. I had fear of leaving the house because I was afraid I was going to get in trouble. The DA lived in my neighborhood, and it was really scary. So finally, when I went to trial, it was a 2-day trial. I was very fortunate that the jury saw how ridiculous it was that I was being prosecuted for 3 plants that weighed 31 grams total. Sorry for the M. That said, after I was acquitted, I was really relieved, of course, but I was also really angry. I discovered, after digging into statistics and connecting with other activists, that, well, for instance, in 2012, someone was arrested for cannabis every 42 seconds. So, you know, the whole time I'm up here, there's 5 people getting arrested, 6 people getting arrested, right? Not cool. So I started my activism and started speaking, and I had the great pleasure of going to jail in Washington, D.C. with Americans for Safe Access and Steph Shearer and 12 other activists. That was great, right? Best 6.5 hours of my life, I tell you. That was really inspiring, and I continue to be inspired by other people, both in activism in cannabis, but also in the cannabis industry. Cannabis entrepreneurs, by nature now, since we're not legal in all 50 states, are activists. Anytime you put your name out there and put a product out there, it makes you an activist. So, over the last few years, I developed a topical pain reliever, Empower. Originally, it was an acronym for Ending Marijuana Prohibition, Organizing Women to Enact Reform. Right? Because if you think about it, women started prohibition of alcohol, and they ended prohibition of alcohol, essentially. So why wouldn't it be the same for cannabis, right? Luckily today, 10 years later, there were people with experience in running nonprofits that were able to open up many different nonprofits focusing on women. And as you see, it's working. I encourage every single one of you to do something, whether it be writing letters to the editor, writing letters to your legislators, or just talking to everybody you can on the street. I wear my shirts for my company everywhere. It's not just because I'm branding, which I like to do that a lot too. It's also because, well, I'll show you the back. Okay, so it says put it where it hurts, and on the front it says it's a topical pain reliever, right? So I get a lot of questions, and that allows me to talk to people about medical cannabis and also about cannabis legalization often. It also allows me to talk to people that would never consider using cannabis in any other form. Any way that you can do that yourself in your own, either in your own industries or in your own free time, talk to people, demystify, and empower other people to speak out and to make a difference. We have that opportunity, especially now. And thank you very much for being here and for being patient with me.